Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Logan with West Desert Shooter, and in this video I want to cover the top 5 things you actually need for your first PRS rifle competition. Let's get into it.
Impact. Impact.
Now, I also want to start by saying that I am not the overall expert in this by any means. I've only shot a few PRS matches to this point, including NRL 22, which is my 22 rifle right here, as well as a couple centerfire PRS matches, and the Vortex Extreme, which I have my number plate up there. So I'm not the end-all be-all expert, but I have had a lot of fun at it, and I have picked up on what I actually needed to attend and be competitive in these events. This is going to be the entry-level needs, not exactly the every piece of gear that you'll ever need to be the dominant championship winner of the PRS matches. I want to help you get out to your first event, get your feet wet, see if you like it or not. At that point, that's when you can start building up all the extra equipment. But to show up and be confident that you're ready to run the match the first time, that's what this video is for. Alright guys, so now taking a look at the equipment sitting right here, I don't want you to be intimidated. Your rifles do not need to look anything remotely close to these. In fact, they can look wildly different. That's one thing you'll notice when you show up to the match is a lot of people are running a lot of wildly different things. So personally, I like chassis rifles. Again, this is my 22, but you can run something as simple as a $400 AR build if you've built it with PRS in mind. In fact, that's probably the way that I would suggest to go, is to throw a decent optic on top of your AR and get ready for PRS. So let's get to thing number 1, I think that would help you the most at a PRS match. And number 1, I'm gonna say, is probably a bipod for your rifle. So up front on these rifles, I have a bipod on each one. Now, I'm hoping that you're familiar at least with the term bipod, and what that is are these two legs, the two meaning bi, and then it attaches to the forearm of your rifle, helps support it. That makes you incredibly stable. It's really helpful for building a solid position to shoot from when laying low or shooting from an obstacle. Bipods are used on every stage that I've ever shot, unless it's an offhand stage. So a bipod is hugely beneficial to a PRS match. Now again, it does not have to be this one focused here in this video. This is an Atlas and a eBay knockoff Chinese Atlas, which was about $30. You can get a Harris bipod. Those are much more affordable. Even the Caldwell bipods, those will hold up as well. Just get something that's within your budget that will work and attach to your rifle. So now that you've got a bipod and your front rest ready to go and you're stable, the next thing you're really going to need is a ballistic calculator and also some information on the ammunition you're going to shoot. You can take a box of ammo and take it straight to the match. In fact, I've shot all of my PRS matches using factory ammo. This is some Hornady match, but it doesn't have to be Hornady again. You could shoot non-match ammunition, but I would suggest staying away from varmint bullets. You're gonna wanna go with a heavier bullet, preferably find some match ammunition for your rifle. What the ballistic calculator ultimately does is it tells you where to expect your bullet to show up at a given range. Now, without diving too deep and too crazy into it, you're gonna be shooting multiple targets at different distances. You're gonna wanna know where to expect your bullet to show up. That way, once you get out a few hundred yards, you know how far your bullet has dropped and where to aim to get your bullet to impact your target. Now, ballistic calculators are available in separate, like their own handheld calculating device. What I use is an app on my phone. There are free ballistic calculators available, so there's no reason not to at least have one. Hornady has a pretty good one, and that's available for free. So you take some Hornady match ammo, tell the app that that's what you're using, and it'll give you a good idea of what to expect out of your rifle and where your bullet should end up. But a ballistic calculator is going to be major as far as trying to compete and hit your target while at a PRS match. This next item made my list, but I was a little hesitant to put it on this list. I think that this is hugely beneficial to getting you out and ready for a PRS match. I think it's awesome to have one of these, And it's honestly part of my top 5 things that I think you need to actually get into PRS. Now, you don't 100% need this, but it will help you so much if you do. What I'm talking about is a 10-round magazine for your rifle. Now, if you have a rifle with a detachable magazine, say a Tikka T3, I know that those typically come with a 3-round. I know that they do sell 5-rounders for those. Now, if you have a Remington 700, there are aftermarket options available to add in a magazine so that you can have up to a 10-round magazine. But most stages you're going to be shooting 8 to 12 rounds. Usually, that's what I've come to expect. And I really strongly suggest the capability of 10 rounds in your rifle. Having a pocket full of shells is really going to hinder you as far as time and trying to work within the limits of the competition. Now, obviously, if this is your first time out and you just want to go shoot and you have 3 rounds in your gun, they're going to be more than willing to work with you on that. And most likely they'll let you go beyond your time limit just to get an experience of how it goes. But my top 5 things that I think you should have is a 10-round magazine. Now, in this rifle, this is an AR patterned rifle. This is a Uinta Precision, and it feeds out of an AR lower. So I have the capability of running any AR-10 magazine that's out there. So this one's actually a 20-rounder sitting right here. And on the 12-round stages, I usually have the advantage over the 10-round guys because they have to carry 2 rounds or figure out some way to feed their rifle 2 more rounds if they get that far. Now on my 22, it has a 10-round magazine from the factory. I've just left it that way, and I just run the 10-round mag on that for the NRL 22 stuff. Now, the only reason I'm hesitant to say you need this is because I know that it's usually not a cheap option to try and upgrade your rifle just to get out and try it for the first time. So if you don't have a 10-round magazine, maybe you have an internal magazine in your Savage rifle or your Remington rifle, get out there and try it with what you have. You don't need to go spend $300 to start that. But I really think it's an upgrade you'll want to make early on to try and accomplish that. Now, among my top 5 things that I think you need for PRS is a decent scope. I've got a couple decent scopes on top of my rifles here, and what I mean by decent, it needs to be able to hold 0, and hopefully there's some type of reticle in there that will help you use your ballistic calculator. So say you have a mil-dot scope, tell your ballistic calculator to give you your outputs in mils, and you can use those mil dots to hold over and adjust to have your bullet impact your target. Your scope needs to be able to help you understand where you're holding over within it. Now they have BDC reticles, those are okay. Anything with a first focal plane is a huge plus. I understand if you don't have one going into it. And I'm not asking you to go out and spend $3,000 on a rifle optic to go try your first match. There's some very affordable options nowadays. Right here, I've got an Arkin SH4. This retails for about $350. The Vortex Optics, they have a Diamondback Tactical. That thing's about $350. Maybe some of the Bushnell scopes have the features we're looking for. But what I mean is, like, you can start with a lower end optic and eventually work your way up to the nicer scope. If I hand a rookie shooter a really nice expensive scope, it's not going to do them all that good. It's kind of like handing someone who's inexperienced driving a really fast race car. It's not going to do them all that much good unless they know what they're doing with it. So work your way up. The whole buy once, cry once. You definitely want to learn what you're doing before you buy the expensive stuff. That way you don't buy the wrong expensive stuff. That's way worse, is to spend a lot of money on something that you end up down the road realizing this isn't what I'm after. So I've done that. I spent about $500 on a Vortex scope, only later to find out, oh, this isn't at all what I actually need. So I ended up selling that. But yeah, a decent scope, holds 0, has a good reticle that you can use for reference to hit your target, or the turrets are decent enough to actually dial your ballistic solution in there. So either one of those 2 things, hopefully both. Hopefully it dials and your reticle is good. That's where the nicer end scopes come into play. And finally, the 5th thing that I think you're going to need to show up to your first PRS competition is the correct mindset. And what I mean by that is, if it's your first time, go there and try and absorb what you can about how the match works, how it runs, but you also want to keep safety in mind. Obviously, nobody wants to get hurt while they're out there trying to have fun in a competition. So the first competitions that I ever went to, the first time I showed up at that event, it was really just to learn how the event ran. It was never about trying to win or really push my limits at all. Like my first competitive rifle shoot I ever went to was an F-class match, and I showed up and I shot the match and that was great. But I really wanted to learn how the rules were, what to do, what not to do. I was trying to keep myself out of trouble and keep everyone around me safe. You definitely don't want to be known as the unsafe guy at the range. Nobody likes that guy, so you got to be careful. But absolutely, when you show up to a PRS match, there's movement involved. So you got to be very mindful of where your muzzle's pointed and when your rifle is loaded or unloaded. Every time you move, you're going to want to have your bolt back and open with an empty chamber as you're moving around. Wait till you get on target with your scope on target, then close your bolt. So it's always better to be on the cautionary side. Like when moving around the first couple matches, I would move a little bit slower than what I knew I could. That way I knew that I was being extra safe. Now ultimately guys, this video is to try and encourage people to go out and try the match. I want to help them realize what they do and don't need. Like for example, the very expensive scopes, you don't need that. You don't need a really expensive rifle. Behind me I have some really nice rifles equipped for PRS setups, but like I mentioned at the beginning, you can take a cheap AR build, put a decent scope on it. It's got the 10 round mag capabilities. You buy some 75 grain match ammunition, assuming this is 5.56, and go ahead and take it to a match. There's nothing that says you can't run a cheap AR in one of these matches. Usually they've got a rail or a way to attach a bipod to the front. It's actually a really good way to get into it and go try it at first. So you get yourself a $20 or $35 bipod, and then you throw yourself on a scope that's decent, hopefully in the $200 to $300 range. And believe me, I totally get where you're coming from. If you're like, a $350 scope, that's really expensive. I know exactly where you're coming from. I've been there. As you work your way up, you start to realize the real value in scopes and as well as rifles. And like I mentioned, you don't want to start out with the craziest stuff. You don't want to buy the wrong thing out front, because that's really not going to be good. But you want to know what you're looking for to buy to get your way up in there. So start low, work your way up. It'll really help you out. Now, a huge part of PRS is having like tactical bags. So I started out with one of these, just homemade little bean bag. I use it primarily as a rear rest. You absolutely can throw it up on a 2x4, set your rifle on top of it, and take care of your rifle. One really awesome thing about the PRS competitions is the community there. If someone else has a competitive shooting bag, like 99% of the time, if you simply say, hey, would you care if I tried that out? I've never been told no if I've asked someone for a piece of equipment to try out and see how I liked it. If anyone asks me for one of mine, I'm gonna return that favor. Absolutely, man, try it out, see what you think of it. So I started out with one of those. I finally bought my first PRS bag. And just as an example, this is a Warhorse development. This is their Cleed. This thing's pretty wild and crazy, so you can throw it on top of a T-post or up on top of some type of barricade. Not to say anything bad about Warhorse development or this bag, you don't need this to start. I mean, these are not exactly cheap, but they're American made, high quality. I really like it. It's worth it, but you don't need it to start. Like I say, bipod, decent scope, ballistic calculator, the correct mindset, and a 10-round magazine, you're pretty well ready to go out to your first PRS match. Let me know what I missed down in the comments below. Please ask any questions you may have about these competitions. I want to help you guys out. I want to get new shooters on the range because it's a ton of fun and it's a great community out there as well. So I appreciate your guys' time. Thank you for watching. My name is Logan with West Desert Shooter. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Check out some of my other videos if you want to as well. We'll see you guys in the next one.